Hey, welcome to Integrated Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith, and a happy Labor Day weekend to all of you. We're up at the Omaha Zoo. Came up here on a field trip, kind of, for the church homeschool, and having a great time. If you haven't been up here to the Omaha Zoo, if you're within striking distance, you should come. It's really a great zoo. But the point of this is, do you remember when preppers were crazy? Remember when we were all nuts? Times change, don't they? This is kind of a message both to those of us who are prepared and to those of you who may not be quite as prepared as you want to be. Hadn't been that long ago. Yeah, I feel like I'm so close to you. My head is taking up too much room here. But you got to keep it close so you can hear with me without me yelling. I don't want all these people around to look at me like I'm an idiot. It hadn't been that long ago that preppers were really, the term itself, prepper was used disparagingly. We were all crazy. We were all paranoid. Nobody wanted to admit to being one. Usually the term prepper was prefaced by the term, "Are you one of those?" Right? Well, times changed, and it's proven us to be right in more ways than one. The world's falling apart. We see it coming from every angle. It's not necessarily coming the way that a lot of people thought it was. We're in a different position, different challenges. Your get-home bag, your rucksack, your pew pew, and your all of that aren't going to do a lot of good in this situation. But for those of you who have followed an integrative, a complete preparedness plan, you're in good shape. I'll say a word to those of you who aren't quite that way yet. We see things coming at us from every direction. More people are going to be losing their jobs. A lot of people already lost their jobs. They've lost their businesses over the last year or so. It's come about because of government edict. It's come about from people who sit in offices who don't really produce anything, who gobble up misinformation, and as a result of their inability to think critically themselves. And they just want to follow the crowd. It makes them feel secure. However, they find support in their large group in the fact that not having relied on themselves very much throughout their lives, but finding their safety and security in a herd, they have gotten to positions of power, and as a result, they've mandated and legislated things that are harming a lot of people, and it's harming our country as well. We know that. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. You know that. But we've seen the devastation already, and we're about to see more devastation. We're about to see a lot more people lose their jobs, a lot more people lose their businesses. If you see what's going on in Australia, gosh, I hope that never happens here to you guys over there in Australia, because I know that some of you are on here on this channel watching. Best of luck to you. Do your best to resist and to fight back. Here in the States, we are seeing a resurgence in the resistance. People are standing up all over the place. People are standing up in communities. They're standing against their employers. They're standing against their city councils and county commissions and state legislatures. And they've just about had it. I think that the people are quickly reaching their breaking point. It takes a lot to make Americans finally stand up and push back. I think I've said this before on one, that Winston Churchill is purported as saying that America, and I'll apply this to Americans, America always does the right thing after it's tried everything else. I think it applies to Americans too. After taking and taking and taking and taking, finally Americans will stand up and push back, and we've seen that in a couple of occasions. Once we were victorious, and another we weren't. But I think this one's going to bring something entirely different. Um, we have, there's another old saying, beware the wrath of a patient man. Americans, for the most part, are patient, at least those on our side. They'll take a lot. Uh, and then we find ourselves fighting out of a hole. And, hey, whatever happens, I think is going to be really interesting. I'm not going to say any more than that right now, but I do see a tremendous resurgence. I see an anger coming up that I haven't seen in my lifetime, and I have a fairly long lifetime. I remember the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. I remember all that. I have never seen a time to where there have been so many people just disgusted with what's going on with our country and those who think that they rule us as opposed to represent us. And I think there's going to be a reckoning. Now, I was about to say something that I'm not going to say. But for you newer people, for you people who are experienced in preparedness, who have been in it for a long time, you're in good shape. And I'm going to say this to those who are newer preppers or may not be as prepared as you want to be. Those of us who are in it and have been preparing for years, we are in good shape. Like I mentioned the other day, we're going to lose a lot. I'm going to lose about 100,000 a year. Okay, but you know what? I'm in good shape because I prepared. We prepared as a family. There are thousands more like that. If you're not in that situation, I'm sorry, but don't think that you shouldn't start now. You should. Everything you do now is going to help you in the future. Everything you do to prepare yourself to be self-sustaining, self-reliant is going to give you just a little added degree of freedom and independence in what's coming down the road. There we see problems in our food delivery system. You go ahead. No, that's all right. I'm filming me, not y'all.
Oh, okay.
Y'all having a good day?
Yes, we are. How about yourself?
You betcha.
Good.
I forget what I was saying, but everything that you do right now, and go back, I'm not going to talk about basic preparedness right now, but go back to my earlier videos. I cover everything about basic preparedness. If you don't know how to do that, you can go up somewhere above the screen up here, and you can select, oldest to newest or newest to oldest, how you want to view it. Go clear back to my first ones, and I talk about basic preparedness. Everything we might be seeing, and I'm already seeing some shortages in the grocery stores, shortages everywhere, really. There are shortages coming, and I think that's going to get a lot more serious. You need to stock up now. You need to make sure that whatever you think you're going to need in the next year or so, you have. To the extent that you can afford it, do all that you can. Okay? You're not going to be sorry, because as inflation hits, you're going to be spending less now on things than you would be in the future. Don't wait until the last minute. Don't be the ones that are out there scurrying around trying to run to the store and find something you need at the store. It's there now. Go get it. Okay? Don't wait to the last minute. You need to be strong. You need to be able to be independent of this system that is trying to cripple us and really trying to make us they're trying to make us the inmates of the zoo here, and we're not going to let that happen. They're going to see our resistance. I think they're going to see our fury fairly soon here. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I got to catch up with the rest. We've got some more to do here at the zoo, and but just remember when preppers were crazy, and now preppers are the one who are relaxed, right? We're ready. Doesn't matter what they do. We're going to live our lives the way that we have lived them and the way we want to. Doesn't matter what they bring at us. We're going to handle it. Okay. And for you people who are just getting into it or just about midway through it or whatever, don't give up. Realize you can do it. Prepare. Whatever you've been doing lately, do it 10 times. Do everything you can to provide for the security and the safety and the well-being of you and your family. We're going to come out the other end just fine. Leave it at that. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And take those words to heart. Everything you do now should be geared toward preparing for an extremely challenging tomorrow. Okay? You all have a good day. I'm having a great day, and I will talk to you later.